I must tell you another story about Gary Jones. He told me that the late James Flynn wanted to have researchers in the US that will help him prove that intelligence was mainly environmental, but he didn't find any, and he suspected that the intelligence researchers in the US afraid that such a rigorous research will eventually say, yes, it is genetics, and they didn't want their name to be on those findings. So we're still in this nature-nurture debate, but from the publication of the bell curves, we have intelligence by Earl Hunt, we have human intelligence by McIntosh, we have the neuroscience of intelligence by Richard Heyer in 2017, we have In the Know by Russell Warren, and it is not, if we look, and I've read all the textbooks, it seems that no one can escape the fact that intelligence is in part or in big part genetics, the twin studies, all the other things. Intelligent, that the mere fact that you can look using fMRI at a human brain and say, okay, this correlates with IQ, I think says something profoundly important about intelligence being mainly genetics, no?
Yeah, there's really no scientific controversy about, is intelligence itself highly heritable and genetic? Not among the people who know the data, including geneticists. So it's probably, it changes over the lifespan. So that for children, the heritability of IQ is sometimes in the region of 0.3 or 0.4, which is fairly low. Whereas among mature adults, it's in the range of 0.6 to 0.8, which is quite high.
Yeah.
So there's no controversy about that. And even when you're talking about differences among groups, I think that we are in a situation in which people know what's going on scientifically and just don't want to talk about it. There is a geneticist named David Reich who teaches at Harvard, a well-respected professor.
He wrote a great book.
He wrote a wonderful book of where we come from. That's not quite the title. Anyway, he is also not a conservative scholar. He's a standard liberal scholar in terms of his politics. But he has said cautiously but publicly that, we just have to stop digging ourselves into this hole, saying that you cannot possibly have genetic differences across races. He says, because I think he used the phrase, we are about to be overwhelmed by a tsunami of data saying the opposite. And we just have to start to come to grips with that. I think that that's a very widely held view at this point, but there is so much intellectual terrorism going on in America these days that I think people are hunkered down and just don't want to talk about it.
By the way, I read David Reich's book, and it seems like he opens the door quite open, but we refuse to enter. It refused to enter because okay, this is the data, therefore, and he refused to make the extra step, which is in some way transparent with all the data that he supplied. Wow, that was great. I would love to see you join our great channels community. Come, check it out.